Alright, I'm in PHPMyAdmin, and in this video we're going to talk about how to create new tables and table relationships in PHPMyAdmin for the database we just created in the previous video. So I'm going to click on DB4, and you'll notice it does not have any tables. So I'm just going to create a table, and you know what? A user table is a good table to start with. So I'm just going to call it user, remember all lowercase, all one word, and click go. Okay. In here, this is the important part. I'm going to start with user, just like I named with the table. I'm going to capitalize ID. I leave everything else alone, but I click on this AI part. Okay, AI means auto increment, and that's how I like to do my primary keys. I don't actually do anything but click AI, and then on this pop-up, I click go. Okay, I don't do anything else. I don't set anything else. I just click user ID and the checkbox, and then click go. Down here, I'm going to do first name and spell that right. Make it a varchar 50, and then I'm going to do last name. Make it a varchar 50, and then I'm going to do phone number and make that a varchar 50 also. Okay, and right over here under storage engine, this is pretty important. If I want to have relationships, I need to set it to INODB. Okay, if I want to have relationships. Okay. So we'll just say go or save, and that will create the first table. Now let's just say I want to make one more table, and then we'll have a relationship for that. Let's just call it a course. Okay, so I'm going to put course up here. So a user is going to have a course, and obviously I want to make it the course ID. Again, I just click the AI button and click go. And then I want to say user ID is inside the course, and then title and grade. In fact, we could over here just be varchar and the grade, keep it simple. And we don't need, let's just say on this one, we'll get rid of that. We'll drop that line in just a second. We don't need title. We'll just do grade. Okay. So I'm gonna get rid of the title. I can drop it right here. Now, because I want user ID to have a relationship, I need to add an index for that. So if we're gonna add it in a relationship, it needs to have an index. So I index that one and click OK. You'll notice it's added here as an index. I go back over to user, and I also want to have an index on this one, so I click on structure. And for user ID, I add an index for that one. Click OK. And it now has an index. It's been indexed for that also. So if I go up to DB4 and I click on designer, this is where I'll be able to see my relationships. Okay. I have my two tables here. I come over here to this side panel and click create relationship. And I want to make a relationship between this primary key and this foreign key. Okay, and it says create the relationship. It says error relational feature. You notice that when we were over in our designer, and we go over and click on our relationship, and we go from the user ID down here to the user ID, it says click OK. It's going to throw an error. Now you might get this error and you'll be like, oh, what's wrong? Well, if you come over here to user, you'll notice that the user table, if you click on structure, the user table is using the engine type is not the INODB. I did not set the right engine type. So what I want to do is I want to change the engine type. Okay. To do that, I want to run some SQL. The SQL statement that I'm going to use, I click on SQL. The SQL statement I'm going to use is alter table, and instead of my table, it's going to be my table name, which is user. So alter table user engine is INODB, and click go. Okay. If that happens, if you forgot to change your engine type, that's why you're going to have that problem. So if I go back over and I click on my designer, and now I want to create that relationship, and I say user ID to user ID, click OK. Now I have to figure out why that problem is. It's probably because user was right, course is not right. So let's do it again. Okay, so we go back over to course and click on SQL and change that to course, I did user first, and that one was correct, and click go. And now let's go back over and go to designer and click on create relationship and click on user. You know it's going to work now because it's popping this create relationship with your key. So on delete, what do we want it to do? We want it to cascade, and on update, what do we want to do? We want to cascade. And what that's going to do is if you make a change on either, if you want to delete or update any of the information in both of these, they will cascade down into the other tables. Okay. So if you delete a user, any courses that user is in over here will also be deleted, which is a smart way to do it. So we click OK, and that relationship is made. But you're going, why is this relationship not showing up? It could be that you're in Chrome, it could be whatever, but all you got to do is just click on designer again, and then that relationship shows up. Say you want to remove a relationship, all you need to do is click on the little half moon and say delete that relationship, which we don't want to do right now. So we're okay, and we have our relationship. Okay. Now, last thing I want to show you is how to add data to this. So we're going to go to the user table, and we're going to insert some users. So we're not going to do anything with this first one because it's auto incremented. So the second one, we're just going to say Brian Marshall and phone number 2137 and click go. And now if we go to browse, we actually have one user in that table. Okay. Same thing with course. Click on course, click on insert. We could say course ID we don't want to do anything with, but the user ID and the grade that I got, obviously I'm an outstanding student and I got an A. And if you click on browse, there is the course ID, user ID, and the grade. Okay, so that's pretty much the basics of MySQL in a nutshell in under 8 minutes. How to do relationships, how to add indexes, how to add tables, how to add data to the tables. So pretty much the whole thing there in less than 8 minutes.